Hello, friends. It's Peggy Hall here from thehealthyamerican.org. I want to thank you so much for ordering your religious exemption information card. My hope and prayer is this card blesses you and every individual that uses it and reads it. The intention behind the religious exemption information card is to actually help educate others as to our federal civil rights and our state civil rights. You are born with God-given rights. The Constitution does not give you rights. The Constitution is designed to protect those rights from being overrun by the government. And we are seeing right now very, very tragic events in our country. We are seeing that our rights are being trampled on, not only being trampled on, that they are willfully being violated. From the moment that I created these cards about 2 weeks ago until today, there has been an alarming acceleration in the violation of these rights. I really want to stand with you in this, and I am going to be offering a webinar where you can come join me at complimentary, no charge, as my thank you to you for your patience as these cards arrive. It was quite an undertaking to have them produced and mailed, and you know, the enemy is at work trying to trip us up, and we did have a few setbacks with the mailing. So I thank you for your patience as these are making their way to you. So you have a special VIP invitation to join me, and I will have a link for you below where you can come onto this event and actually even email questions to me in advance, and I will have the opportunity to review those and answer the questions that are coming up more frequently. My goal is to provide education and information to inspire you to take action. I know it's not easy. I know how anxiety producing it can be as you're going into a place of business, a doctor's office, a grocery store, maybe other service places, and you're not sure whether they're going to hassle you or prevent you from entering. The reason why I made these cards is because to me, it seemed like a bulletproof approach, because religious freedom is protected in our country. And the fact that these store clerks and managers so willingly violate these freedoms is astonishing to me. The other thing I'm going to provide you with is something called a notice of liability. And I will give this to you as my gift because you invested and donated to get your cards. And this notice of liability is something that you can either serve the clerk with immediately on the spot, or that you can send later if you're going to do a complaint. Now, please listen very carefully as to how I approach going into these business establishments without wearing a mask. Number one, I call in advance and I ask what their accommodations are for someone who doesn't wear a mask. And I use that phrase. Please let me know your accommodations for someone who doesn't wear a mask. Usually, now it depends from place to place, they may say, well, we ask that you stay 6 feet apart, or they may offer to do the grocery shopping for you. I had to take my cat to the vet. I mean, no one goes into the vet, sadly. They make you stay outside on the sidewalk, but I didn't wear a mask. So calling in advance to alert them. And if you have any difficulty, then I would ask to speak to the manager. I would also see if you can get something in writing off the website. I have a letter from Costco from the CEO that states at Costco, they will not deny your entry if you have a medical condition. I know now that Walmart and Home Depot and a couple of other retailers are also leaving individuals alone if you say, I am exempt, or I have a medical exemption or a religious exemption. Once you arrive at the store and you, again, will have your card, and you can simply, normally I don't say anything, I just walk right in. But if they do cause you any concern, I normally just hold the paper and they can read it themselves. And when they read it out loud in their own words, often it has more of an impact. So I personally have never been turned away from a grocery store. The only time I had difficulty was in a restaurant with the other patrons. And this was a long time ago before masks were even widely used. But the patrons that were waiting for their food started to harass me and my husband. And it was very strange and very uncomfortable. So I was denied boarding on a Southwest Airlines, even though I had in writing from Southwest their policy that I could board the plane. All right, friends, this is the extent to where we are. So as I explained on the website, I wish this card would give you free entry without any questions asked. Unfortunately, I can't guarantee that. But it is an information card, and it is intended to help educate others as to our freedoms and our rights. And so doing that in a polite, calm manner, I think will be more fruitful than having kind of explosive exchanges with individuals. You can always ask to speak to the manager if the clerk is causing you any problems. And if it does escalate to the point where there is harassment, that is where I would say, are you harassing me? And I would use that exact phrase. Are you harassing me? Is this harassment? Because if it is harassment, that's when you call the sheriff or you call law enforcement. And because you have been calm this entire time, you are not trespassing, all right? A trespasser is someone who is on the property and they are being unruly, they are breaking the peace, they are trying to shop, they don't have money, they are in some manner breaking the law. You are not breaking the law. You are a healthy American. And I have had times where, and I know my husband actually called the sheriff when I was not with him, and the sheriff came, and the sheriff actually explained that my husband could sue these individuals on civil grounds in civil court. So there is criminal court and there is civil court. And criminal court is if somebody is breaking into your car, that is a crime and an actual criminal violation. And if these individuals at the grocery store are violating your civil rights, civil, it is in civil court. It would be much like if somebody didn't pay you money that they owed you and you would take them to court in a civil court. So this is where I'm going with it, friends. We have to have all of these different remedies to try. And I wish that this card was the golden key that would unlock every door. I would like to hear of your successes. You can email me at peggy@thehealthyamerican.org. Above and beyond that, I would like to encourage you to join me in our full force, full court press on Sprouts. Now, you may not even have a Sprouts. You may not even know what Sprouts is. I don't even shop at Sprouts. But the reason I want to focus on this grocery store is because this is the store that I have heard the most complaints about. And I've heard that that individuals have been harassed. And Sprouts has done a 180. They used to be extremely gracious and accommodating, and then suddenly they became militaristic and fascist and totalitarian and communistic overnight. And I want to find out why. The other thing is, on their website, it states that they don't discriminate. It states that they will treat you with respect. It states that you have full and equal access to the enjoyment of their business establishment. And they use that word enjoyment. So if you would help me, I can help you. Now, I know you might have a different grocery store and maybe you've been emailing, but here's what I need you to do, please. I've done the legwork for you. You can pick up the phone, you can send an email. Best of all is to send a written mail, an old-fashioned letter in the mail with a stamp. Some of you are going to have it be certified where you have a receipt that it was delivered. Why? Because now we have evidence that these lawbreakers, that these violators of our civil rights, we have it on record that they have gotten notice, that they have been notified that they are violating our civil rights. This is going to help in the class action lawsuit that is going to go forward against Sprouts. Now, hopefully it won't come to that. My goal, and please listen to me carefully because it will help you. My goal is to have Sprouts be the leader to say, We are no longer going to discriminate against healthy individuals, healthy Americans. We will allow healthy Americans to shop in our store without harassing them. By law, that's what they're required to do. Okay? There is no such thing as a store creating a store policy that violates established law. Please repeat after me. No store can make a policy that violates established law. That would be like saying that your grocery store now allows fistfights to happen. Well, that's ridiculous because beating someone up is against the law. It doesn't matter if it's a store policy or not. We need to educate the stores, and then another action step is going to be to educate law enforcement so they will stop repeating like a parrot, no shoes, no shirt, no mask, no service. That's not law. There is no law that says you have to let someone in without shoes. So first of all, this doesn't even make sense. Secondly, there is a law that prevents discrimination against healthy Americans. You are a healthy American. You do not need to wear a mask. You do not need to spread germs with that germy mask. I want to empower you. You will be knocked down a couple of times, hopefully not literally, but there may be times when you are denied entry. Make a note of it, write down the day, the time, the individual, maybe snap a photo, get that person's name, because that individual is going to be sued by you, or at least given notice. And you're saying, Peggy, you're talking about lawsuits, what can we do? I'm working on that right now. The class action lawsuit is something you can just hop on once we have an attorney who is going to represent this case. So you don't need to do the legwork. Now, some of you are attorneys, or you know some lawyers who may want to be involved in protecting our civil rights. This is a civil rights issue. The other thing I'm going to recommend that you do, if you do get into a grocery store, please begin to stock up. You need to stock up for the proverbial rainy day, all right? So if you normally buy 1 jar of spaghetti sauce, you're going to buy 2 jars of spaghetti sauce as your budget allows. Instead of 1 packet of spaghetti, you get 2 or 3 packets of spaghetti. Instead of, 1 bag of dog food, you get 2 or 3 bags of dog food. This way, you won't have to go into the grocery stores that frequently until we can get this under control. So now I know there are other issues like going to the dentist, working at your business or whoever employs you, going to see a doctor, getting your car fixed, traveling. I understand. Today I'm speaking about grocery stores. I will be doing videos that will address these other issues, especially the healthcare, because I have some very important information to share with you there. But this was my message of thanks to you for donating to the healthyamerican.org. I could not do this work without you. Your support, your financial donation, your purchasing of the religious exemption information card helps keep this ship afloat. It's extremely expensive to do the technology, make the videos. I've just dedicated, basically my entire life now to this movement, and we get thousands of emails a day. I need to have people help me go through all of that, I do the research, I make the videos because I want to empower you to take action. Thank you. God bless you. I look forward to having you with me on that special call. And if you can't make that date, don't worry. You will get a link to that information so that you will have it at your fingertips. And that will be additional information to help empower you as we move forward. God bless you. God bless America. And I look forward to seeing you very soon.